Hello all, in this video I will be comparing the haunts in my local market Buffalo with those in Syracuse based on my first ever experience. As you can see with my map of all the haunts in the western third of New York, I will be highlighting the three marquee pro haunts of my market, those being House of Horrors Haunted Catacombs, Fright World, and Everhaunt. And as we go across the map to the Syracuse market, the sequence will follow the path we traveled on October 24th, that being Grimsley's Gorge, Frightmare Farms, Demon Acres, and the Fright Nights. Two biggest differences are sets and actors. I will first talk about my market and my experience here and then go into the contrasts. I've been going to Fright World for 17 years, 2003, their second year when they were in the Eastern Hills Mall. I was 10 and I've been going to haunts ever since. I went to House of Horrors the next year, which was their second year. I did my own home haunt, but that'll be for a different video. What you can always expect out of these Buffalo market haunts are high grade set dressings. There are not only in-house artists, but also visiting artists, like House of Horrors has a number of visiting artists. At one point, even Stuart Smith came for City of the Dead in 3D. And there are all of these massive investments, like Erie Productions, who do Fright World, went to the Richardson Complex auction and got all of the psych ward stuff, and then they went to the old ECMC auction, got all the medical stuff, and even the Children's Hospital auction. And at Everhaunt, you have years of collection and thousands of miles of traveling. Kevin doing an extraordinary job of really compiling unique items. So there's where Buffalo stands. I would definitely say it's more of a commodity than in Syracuse. What they have there are less intense set dressings, but the actors, who I'll talk about next, are what really shine over there. In Buffalo, the acting is really in the category of a assembly line, maybe. You can say processing as many bodies as fast as possible, and it kind of suffers. You only have 10 seconds of impression time. If you don't come out with great vigor, you don't get a scare. In the Syracuse market, where I noticed with Grimsley's Gorge, Frightmare Farms, and Demon Acres, is there were longer impression times, so you actually have the actors running a line or two, and it was nothing cliche. It was actually some pretty solid acting. I would actually assume that based on a smaller number of formal stage venues in Syracuse than in Buffalo, many of those actors actually get into haunted attractions, and it really ups the ante when you're talking about the total essence of a show. Almost always the commenter will say the actors make or break it. I can see just from my first steps into Syracuse that, some of these haunts are pretty well worth the trip just for the fact that their acting is so, I'll even say volatile. Like, they'll use the entire scene, throwing chains around, banging on the walls, corrugated metal roofing, actually attacking each other. Moreover, there was a little bit of that at Final Fear. Final Fear had some pretty nice vantage points, and even with House of Horrors, this 2020 season, you could really see that they do have great vantage points. The only actors they had operating that season were in the best scare spots, but it's one of those rare occasions where you actually get a strategic show in the Buffalo market. The sets over in Syracuse are much more amateur feeling than pro, although the only one of a number of hayrides I went to out there was Demon Acres, which have some big sets, absolutely surrounding the hayride with prison, a western town, a castle, and the big, bad, exciting surprise at the very end, which was by far one of the best scenes of the entire season. Um, Definitely lacking other than on hayrides. Demon Acres definitely better than the Fright Nights in that respect. The Fright Nights had it was very much like Scare at the Fair slash Final Fear in terms of just cobbling together props and not much in the way of dressing. Their facades were pretty great and the lobby, but um, cliches, the whole place is full of cliches. And other than Frightmare Farms, I was seeing a lot of cliches there where you have more unique, in general, more unique elements in the Buffalo market. Uh, yeah, there was the element of a 3D pirate house in Syracuse, and I guess you could count prison, but that wasn't really themed all that well. Um, I think I have pretty decent sense of those differences for you. Now, I'll, I guess I'll give shout outs to the team of Grimsley's Gorge and Frightmare Farms for being so excellent. Grimsley's Gorge, a home haunt turned amateur haunt, was really, really exceptional. Particular scenes like a elevator that really meet the level of pro haunts. They had electroshock guns or spark guns, whatever you want to call them, and a thing that I've only seen at House of Horrors. Otherwise, this trackway above the path where the actor actually comes flying toward you. That was pretty fantastic. And now what we're seeing here is Frightmare Farms. While I didn't go to their hayride, which probably would have been excellent on the basis of timing and price, I will be returning next year or this year, 2021, because their use of the outdoors is really, really fantastic. I, um, I can recommend coming from Buffalo to Frightmare Farms to Grimsley Gorge multiple times, to Demon Acres once. I can't recommend Fright